used the word bind, said bind. Why, Lord, you don't want me to use that word? Bind. I gave a word the other day about being vigilant, which I didn't use that word, but I did say that you need to be aware when you're being distracted from your calling, from the work that you're supposed to be doing, because you know what that is. And so I felt that night that I should pray for you. And so I was going to pray. And one of the things that I was going to do is I bind that spirit of distraction. And then I felt that tickle in my spirit that when I used the word bind, said bind. Why, Lord, you don't want me to use that word? Bind. And I started to do my own little Bible study on it. And what happened is that binding the work of Satan, or binding Satan, that's not our job. Our job is to keep our eyes on Jesus. Jesus binds Satan. And so I'm remembering how I've been quoted the verse from Matthew 18:18, where Jesus says about what you bind on earth is bound in heaven, and what you loose on earth is loose in heaven. If you look, that verse is referring to your Christian brother and sister. It's about the relationship that you have with your Christian brother and sister. As a matter of fact, that section before that part, I'm familiar with it because I went by that rule. I first spoke to her and it didn't work, so then I went and I got someone to serve as a referee, and in this case a witness, right? That didn't work, so I brought her to the church. And for me not to bring her to Tom, Dick, and Harry, I brought her to the pastor to be able to resolve it. After all of that comes that part about loosing and binding. And it has nothing to do with loosing and binding the enemy. You know what binding and loosing means in context? Exercising judgment on conduct. That's it. It's exercising judgment on conduct and treating sin as pardonable. So basically what I received from it, and if you can comment and let me know what you think, what I received from it, when you're in a relationship, you're bound to that person. That person becomes part of your life and your everything, and you share your things with them. And in this case, I had to lose that person and let that person go free, and I be free, and I'm not bound anymore. So what does that mean? That I'm supposed to see that person as a heathen or a publican, right? I didn't say Republican. I said publican, for example, tax collector. Gotcha. It means that I'm supposed to love that person, love them, treat them like anyone else that needs God. Before I end this, I want to clarify that I'm very much aware of Matthew 16:19. Because he also mentions there about giving the keys of heaven. And he mentions so you can bind on earth is what you can bind in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth is loosed in heaven. He never said to use that authority, which is the key that he had handed over for binding the enemy. What he meant was that gives us authority. He gave us authority. He gave us the key. We have authority to cast out demons, to heal the sick, and raise the dead. That's the authority he's given us, which is plenty. Our eyes are to be on Jesus. To end this on the topic of Matthew 18:18 and Matthew 16:19, I hate to bust your bubble, but those verses are being completely used out of context.